All right, we are going to study the trigonometry of right triangles today, everybody. Section 5.2. We will see the trigonometric ratios of right triangles, and and we will see the trigonometric ratios of some spatial angles, like a 30 degree, 45 degree, and 60 degree. And also we will see some special case of 90 degree, 180 degree later on, of course. And finally, we are going to use these basic trigonometric ratios in the applications, in the examples of right triangles. And let's remember again trigonometric ratios of the angles when we have the right triangle, a right triangle, and in the right triangle, the longest side we call it a hypotenuse, right? And the adjacent and opposite just depends on which angle we are, studying. If we have the theta here, that means adjacent is on this horizontal side here, and the opposite of the theta is basically opposite of the theta, which is the vertical side of the right triangle. And if you are studying the other angle alpha here, then opposite will be the horizontal side here, and adjacent is the vertical side of the triangle. Basically, opposite of the alpha is the same as the adjacent of theta, right? And the vice versa, Shabab. Okay, now we are going to see the trigonometric ratios of the theta. And like if you divide the opposite side by hypotenuse, opposite side divided by hypotenuse, we're going to call it a sine of the theta. I'm sure you guys are also familiar in high school. And cosine of the theta is adjacent of the theta divided by hypotenuse, and tangent of the theta is opposite divided by adjacent. And so basically, when we flip the sine theta, which is 1 over sine theta, it will give you the hypotenuse divided by opposite. We will call it cosecant of theta. And similarly, when you flip the cosine theta, you will get the secant theta, which is hypotenuse divided by adjacent. And cotangent is the, when you flip the tangent, 1 over tangent becomes the cotangent, which is adjacent divided by hypotenuse. All right. Of course, you can write the same ratios for for alpha, and you will see the opposite and adjacent will switch basically, and you will realize that cosine of the alpha will be exactly the same as sine of the theta, and tangent of the theta will be the same as cotangent of alpha, and we will see it later. Just as a example, suppose we have a right triangle with sides 3, 4, and 5. This famous triangle, Shabab. And the sine of theta, as you see, sine of theta is 3 divided by 5, and the cosine of theta is 4 divided by 5. And tangent of theta is 3 divided by 4. And so on, Shabab. So imagine if you have another triangle, another right triangle, of course, so that the theta is the same in both triangles. We have the same theta here and here. Then the sine of this theta here is, of course, a b divided by c. Well, b divided by c should be exactly the same as a 3 divided by 5, because trigonometric ratio of the functions, trigonometric functions will not change. Sine theta, if the sine theta is 3 over 5, wherever you have the same angle, same theta, the ratio will be the same. In this new picture here, sine of theta is b divided by c. Well, b divided by c must be 3 over 5. Okay, b and c can be different numbers, but the ratio should be 3 over 5. All right, because the theta is the same. So sine theta in both pictures must give you the same value. To understand the ratios of the 45 degree, everybody, we just need to borrow some rules from the geometry. In geometry says if you have right triangles with two sides equal, like say A and A, then we will have, two acute angles will be the same as 45 and 45, because we have two sides are equal, so these two acute angles are going to be equal. So since the sum is 90 degree, so each of them will be 45 and 45. That is a property that we borrow from the geometry. So of course A is a positive number. Whatever A is the length of each side of right triangle here. And if you know the A and A here, these sides, then we can calculate the hypotenuse of the right triangle. So c square is equal to a square plus a square, because we have the same sides. So you will see this is c is equal to a times root 2. Now, a is a positive number, so the choosing a as a simple the numbers will give you the clear and easy pictures. So assume that a is 1, because when you take the ratios, a will cancel anyway, right? Opposite divided by hypotenuse or adjacent divided by hypotenuse, a will cancel anyway. So let's choose a equals 1. If you choose a equals 1, Shabab, you will get a clear, nice picture, which is 1, 1, and root 2 here. So you can see the sine and cosine of the 45 degree, which is, equal to 1 over root 2. Both of them are 1 over root 2. And tangent of 45 is 1, and cotangent of 45 is also 1. So these are the values. These are the trigonometric ratios of 45 degree, and these are the numbers that we need to memorize. Sine 45, cosine 45, and tangent 45. Because every time we see the 45 degree, we are going to use these values. Okay. For the for the trigonometric functions of 30 degree and 60 degree, Shabab, let's imagine we have, I should draw the other half of the triangle here maybe. Suppose, Shabab, we have triangle with all the sides are equal, Imagine if you have triangles that all the sides are equal. Again, by the geometric property, Shabab, when you draw the vertical height, when you draw the height from this corner here, let me call this one A point here. If you draw the height from here, that height is going to cut the degree, this angle into two equal angles, 30 and 30. And also that it's going to cut the side into two equal pieces. So we will have a over 2 and a over 2 here. And now you see we have 60 degree and 30 degree, and we have one side is a over 2, another side is a root 3 over 2, and the hypotenuse is a. Because we can calculate the value of h by the Pythagorean theorem, right? Here a square is equal to a over 2 square plus h square. So we will find the h value as a root 3 over 2. So Shabab, we have this famous triangle here. And again, when you take the ratios, a will cancel, of course. So let's choose the a as 2, to make it simple. Then you will get a over 2 is 1 here, right? And this will be root 3, right, if a is 2. And this side, hypotenuse will be 2. So that will be much easier to calculate the ratios of trigonometric ratios of 30 and 60 degree. Okay, so in the next picture, Shabab, you will see 1, 2, and root 3 triangle. And the sine 30, cosine 30, sine 60, cosine 60, and the tangent and cotangent, same wise, Shabab. You can either, I'm sure you guys remember something from high school, or you know how to memorize it, these values, Shabab. We have to remember, these ratios to solve questions. Sine of 30 is 1 over 2, and you notice that sine of 30 is 1 over 2, and cosine of 60 is also 1 over 2. If you look at the picture, right? So that means 30 and 60 degree, they are complementary angles. So sine of 30 is equal to cosine of 60. And similarly, sine of 60 is root 3 over 2. Cosine of 30 is also root 3 over 2. And same thing for tangent and cotangent, Shabab. Tangent 30 is equal to cotangent 60, and tangent 60 is equal to cotangent 30. Yes, that's all we have, Shabab. We have now a list of values, trigonometric values of these spatial angles, 30, 45, 0, 30, 45, 60, and 90 degrees. So somehow we need to memorize this table, Shabab, trigonometric value table. I'm sure you will find the easy way to memorize, or as you practice, Shabab, you will have no problem to remember these values. Okay, so far, anybody has a question, Shabab? Is it going okay? Hopefully. No question?
So, Doctor, these are basically the basic rules for solving questions for different type of triangles.
Yeah.
So I need to study this to be able to solve the questions for this.
Yes, basically this is the picture. This page is what you need to come back later to remember again, Shabab. Otherwise, until you finish the math 002, Shabab, I'm sure sometimes you will need also in the Jebel when you take some math classes. Shabab, you have to remember these values maybe better than your own name, So otherwise, it will be so difficult for you to solve the questions in the exam. These are a must things that you have to memorize, and it's not a lot, Shabab. We are not talking about 100 numbers here. What is the total number here? Maybe 10 or 12 numbers here. So Right?
Doctor,
Yes.
isn't it sine or cosine of 45 degree 1 over 2, not root 2 over 2?
Well, what is
Yes.
cosine of 45 is 1 over root 2.
But the table is square root of 2 over 2.
1 over root 2. 1 over root 2.
We can't have a root in the denominator.
So what can I do, Shabab?
Simplify.
Looks like we rationalize the denominator.
Okay.
Yes. We need to think a little bit, right? What's going on? Just try to understand what's happening. Yes, Shabab.
Yes, Doctor. I have way to memorize this table easily.
Okay, perfect. So whatever, please share with your friends so that they will also, memorize easily. So maybe just put it in the WhatsApp. You guys have WhatsApp group, right?
Yes.
Yes. Please help your friends how to memorize easily. I have no special technique to memorize. It just comes in my mind somehow, So please help each other, Shabab, to memorize it.
All right.
Okay, Shabab. Let's see some applications. Suppose we have a triangle and we have a 30 degree, one of the acute angle, and we have hypotenuse 12. So we are trying to find each perpendicular sides of the triangle. So let's use the sine of 30 degree. So if you use the sine of 30 degree, which is a divided by 12, right? And by using the cross multiplication, Shabab, you will get a equals 12 times sine 30. And sine 30 from the table we need to remember is half. So 12 times half is equal to 6. So we got a equals 6. Well, after you find the one side, the another side you can use by, you can find it by Pythagorean theorem, no problem. Or you can use another trigonometric function. So let me use the tangent, for example, Shabab. Tangent of 30 is equal to a over b, right, Shabab? A over b.
Yes.
So, and do we remember tangent 30 value from the table?
1 over root 3?
Yes, 1 over root 3. Perfect. 1 over root 3 is equal to, I have to, a is 6, right? And divided by b. So from here, b is equal to 6 times root 3. Shiva, correct? All right. Now here is the a nice connection between sine and cosine and tangent and cotangent, Shabab. We call it cofunction identity. In the right triangle, if you have one side is angle A here, then another angle must be 90 minus A. How do I know that, Shabab?
Because the sum of the angles and right angle
Yeah.
is...
Yeah, it should be 90 degree. So these two acute angles should be complementary, right? If one is A, another is 90 minus A. So if you look at the cosine of A, Shabab, cosine of A is B divided by C. B divided by C. But it is the same as sine of 90 minus A, because sine of 90 minus A is also opposite divided by hypotenuse. So it is B over C. You see? Cosine of A and the sine of 90 minus A are the same. And similarly, the sine of A will be the same as cosine of 90 minus A شباب. And for the cosecant, for secant, and tangent and cotangent, this will work, you know, for all of them. So we call it co-function identities. Co-function. As a simple exercise, شباب, if one side is 50 degree, another is 40 degree. So a cosine of 50 degree will be definitely equal to sine of 40, and sine of 50 is cosine of 40, and vice versa. Tangent 50, cotangent 40, cotangent 50, tangent 40, cosecant 50, secant 40, and secant 50, cosecant 40. As a practice, for example, if I have a sine of 20, شباب, sine of 20 is equal to what? Who's going to tell me?
Cosine 70.
Cosine of 70. Perfect. Yes. How about a tangent of 5 degree is equal to
Tangent 85.
cotangent
Cotangent.
85. Huh, like this. شباب. Perfect.
So the sum will be 90.
Yes, because they are complementary, right?
Yes.
The sum must be 90 degree. Perfect. So if A and B are two acute angles of a right triangle, then what is the secant A divided by secant B? Okay, we have the right triangle. I draw it for you here. So can we delete it and draw it again? It's a big, maybe I should draw a big triangle for you, Shiva. All right. Suppose we have angle A is here and angle B is here, Shabab. All right, let's just call this side is A, this side is B, and let's just call this hypotenuse C. All right, now let's see what is secant of A, Shabab. Well, what was the secant of A is hypotenuse C divided by B, right? We have to remember the rule of secant. Secant is hypotenuse divided by adjacent. Yani 1 over cosine şeba. C over B. Okay. How about the secant of B? Secant of B is again hypotenuse divided by adjacent, which is A. So C over A. Well, when you divide C over B divided by C over A, when you simplify, you will get A over B, Shabab. Right? You will get A over B. Well, what is A over B? A divided by B is either tangent A, right? Tangent A is A over B, or cotangent B. Either tangent A or cotangent B. Both of them are okay. And in the exam, looks like they give you cotangent B. The correct answer is cotangent B. Huh? Easy, Shabab?
Could you explain cotangent, doctor? How it's equal to tan?
Cotangent. So let's go back to here again. See? Right, Shiva? Tangent A equals cotangent B. Right, Shiva? Okay. Here is another nice question from the previous major exam. So we have a right triangle here. Of course, this is here also 90 degree here. But we don't need it anyway. Now they are asking what is the length x here. And now what I did here, I put the little side here as y. Another side is as z. I put it, Shabab. Now first we look at this this little triangle here, Shabab. Here, this triangle, okay? And just look at the tangent of 60, because that triangle is also 9 here, a right triangle, huh, Shabab? It is right triangle. Tangent 60 is 6 divided by y, right? Tangent 60 is 6 divided by y. Well, it should be equal to root 3, because 6 over y is root 3. Tangent 60 is root 3. And by the, calculation, you will get y equals 2 root 3, Shabab.
How, Doctor, do we get tangent 60 equals to 6 over y? So root 3 equals to 6 over y, right?
Yeah, root 3 is equal to 6 over y, because tangent 60 is root 3, sir?
Yes, and then we solve it for y.
Yeah, we solve for y, so y will be 2 root 3, Shabab.
Yes, yes.
Perfect. Now, Shabab, let me use different color. Now come to this triangle, Shuf. Here, come here, Shabab. It is also right triangle, right, Shabab? Now, let's use tangent 30. Tangent 30 is, again, 6 over z, correct? 6 over z should be equal to 1 over root 3. Because tangent 30 is 1 over root 3. And then what we did? We just, solve for z. Z is equal to 6 times root 3. Now I got the y and I got the z. So x is equal to y plus z, right, Shabab? So which is 8 times root 3. 8 times root 3. So now how do you feel, Shabab? These are exam questions, by the way. Huh? Is it okay?
Yes.
So you should definitely expect that we will ask these things in the quiz, huh, Shabab? These are gonna be in the quiz also. Now let's look at this one. Again, we have a right triangle, and they are asking the value of x here. So in this small triangle, Shabab, here, Shabab, in this small one here, I just said let this length be y here. When you find the y, Shabab, by the tangent formula, tangent 60 is 12 over y, right? Tangent 60 is 12 over y. So I can find the y as 4 root 3. 12 over y is equal to root 3. And when you solve for y, are you guys okay how to solve for y, or shall I go through the details? Okay. So y is equal to 4 times root 3. And now let's look at a big triangle. The big triangle means big one, huh? Bigger triangle, Shabab, huh? Let me just do it like that for you. Look at the big triangle. So again, calculate the tangent of 30 degree. Tangent of 30 degree is 12 divided by x plus y, right? 12 divided by x plus y. That means x plus 4 root 3. Okay, which is equal to 1 over root 3, because tangent 30 must be 1 over root 3. And again, I hope you guys can solve this one for x. So x will be equal to 8 times root 3. Shabab. Okay. And of course, we have the couple of more exercise. One is I solved for you, Shabab. I will just leave it to you as a practice to just solve by yourself. Let's remember these pictures. That who's going to tell me what is the name of these tools, Shabab? Anybody remembers from high school?
I don't remember it in English. I only remember it in Arabic.
Okay, tell me in Arabic.
Well, to be honest with you, Doctor, I don't know also in Arabic, but I call it turtle.
Turtle? You don't know in Arabic?
It's منقلة in Arabic.
Yes, it is mingale, Shabab, mingale. Yes. So in English, Shabab, the name is protractors here. Protractors. How do we use these things, Shabab? To measure the angles, right? And also to draw a straight line, right? But the major things we are using these things for to measure the angle, you know. And we have a little bit more interesting mingala here. This guy is trying to measure the angle between the sun and the horizon. You see, for example, according to the picture, what is the time of the day, Shabab? What could be the time of the day according to the picture? Who's gonna make a good guess?
Morning.
Could
Maybe
be more
Afternoon.
or
Yes,
could
afternoon.
be close to evening, right?
Yeah.
Yes, either sun is rising or sun is setting, right, Shabab? Yeah. So you can guess. But how about the degree of sun at exactly the noon time? You know, at 12. What could be the angle, Shabab?
90.
90 degree. Perfect. So that is the most dangerous time, you know. The sunlights are so dangerous at that time. So you can the measure the angle of the sun with the horizon. Well, suppose if somebody is, Shabab, looking up in the picture. If you like to look at a bird on the tree, you need to lift your head, huh? You need to lift your head so that you can see the bird. That means you're gonna make angle between horizontal level of your eye and just line of sight. You know, that will give you the angle of elevation. Angle of elevation. But if you are looking, below your, level, below your eye level, مثلا you are looking at a child here, that means you need to lower your head, right? So that means you are gonna have angle of a depression. That means you are looking down, okay? Between the horizontal level of your eye and the line of sight. It is called angle of depression. So we have to, just understand properly what is angle of elevation. That means you are looking at something up. An angle of depression, that means you are looking something below your level. Okay? Angle of elevation, angle of depression. Do you guys know another name in the meaning of depression?
Doctor, what does it mean, angle of depression and elevation? Like when we use it in calculation or solving questions, how
Yeah.
would it
Yes, let's
be?
go to example. Let's go to example, Shabab. Looks
Okay.
like we need to see example to understand. Now read the question. Khalid knows that when he stands 38 meters from the base of a flagpole, so that means your Khalid is staying here, okay, Shabab, and the distance between Khalid and the flagpole, flagpole, Shabab, you understand it? The distance is 38 meters. Okay. And the angle of elevation to the top of the flagpole is a 60 degree. That means the Khalid is here, and this is his level. You know, this is his level, Shabab. His level, and he's looking up here. You understand? He is looking up. So that means he is looking up. So he's making angle between the horizontal line and the top of the flagpole, which is the 60 degree. That is called the angle of elevation. So he's looking up to the, the top of the flagpole. You understand now? The angle of elevation, Shabab. Is it clear now, Shabab?
Yes. It refers to if he's looking up or down, like if the direction is upward or downward. Right?
Yes, exactly. So let me draw it a much thicker one. So basically, this is his eye level. This is his level. And he's looking at top here. He's looking at like this, you know. So this is the angle of elevation. Okay. Now, if this is clear, Shabab, the rest is so simple calculations by using the tangent or other function, whatever you use. And now we have already 160 centimeter because the Khalid here is 160 centimeter tall. So we know this part is 160 centimeter. So let me say this part is y here. Maybe I should choose a different color here. Okay, let's call this one is y here. Okay. So we will see the tangent 60, Shabab. Let's look at tangent of 60. Tangent of 60 is y divided by 38 meters, so which is equal to root 3, of course, right? Tangent of 60 degree is root 3. So from here, Shabab, you will see the y value as 38 times root 3 meters, of course. But what is the height, Shabab? The height is equal to
Y
160 plus 38
plus 100.
1.6.
Yeah, I need to write 1.6, right? Because we are using meters. Here, Shabab. So 38 root 3 plus 1.6 meters is the height of the tree. Height of the flagpole. Now, is this angle of elevation clear, Shabab? Angle of elevation.
Doctor, even if it was to the left side, I mean,
To the left side? What do you mean, the left side?
I mean the angle. If you look into the left side, and
Looking to the left side and right side, we do not have the rule for that, Shabab. We have only up and down, inshallah. For the left and right, we will see, inshallah, what we can do. Okay, now imagine you are in a beautiful shore, you know, on the Corniche, and suppose you are in the nice lighthouse, you know, and you are having your coffee and watching the ships passing by, Shabab. Such a nice place to sit, huh, Shabab? And of course, you are looking down now, right? You are 200 feet, you know, high, a lighthouse. Yani a fanar, huh? You call it fanar, Shabab?
Yeah, I think so.
Fanar,
Yes.
fanar, yes. So now you are sitting there and nicely watching the ships passing by. Of course, again, let me just draw this famous line, Shabab. So this is your level, of course. You are sitting here, right, Shabab? And you are looking down. You are looking down here. So this is the angle we are talking about. Angle of depression. Okay, so you need to draw your level first. So this horizontal line is your level here. From your level to down to ship. Horizontal level, between horizontal level and the line of the side. So it is called angle of depression, Shabab. So angle of depression is 60 degree. And now only thing you need to understand that, you know, how to sketch this yellow triangle, right? This side is 200 feet, which is the height of the lighthouse. And here horizontal line is the distance between the ship and the lighthouse. How far is the ship from the base of the lighthouse? Yani they are asking what is the X value here. So clearly we have a right triangle, Shabab. And from the geometry, we should remember from the geometry that if you have 60 degree here, then it will be the same degree here, you know, right?
Yes, the shape Z, or I don't recall.
Yeah, the inner angles, so will be the same. If you have parallel lines like this, so when you cut it this way, so these two angles will be the same. صح شباب?
Yes.
Perfect. Shabab, so we have 60 degree here. Now just look at this triangle, huh? Here, look at the triangle. We have 200 divided by x. So tangent of 60 is 200 divided by x, which should be equal to √3. And if you solve the, you know, for x will be 200 divided by √3. That is the value of x, Shabab.
Doctor,
Yes, please.
if I said tan 30 equal x over 200, is it going to be correct?
Of course. So tangent 60 degree is the same as cotangent 30, or you want to use tangent 30 is x over 200. Yes, why not?
Tangent 30, I will use.
Yes, tangent 30 is x over 200. Yes, perfect.
Okay, thank you.
أهلا. Now here is another nice exercise, Shabab. So Abdullah wants to know what is the height of a tree. Okay, we have a tree here. And from a given point on the ground, so suppose the Abdullah is at the point B here first time, and he's looking at the top of the tree, so he's measuring the angle as 60 degrees. And now he's moving back to the farther away from the tree. So he's moving back from B to A, 50 meters maybe, or 50 feet, whatever. He's coming to point A, and he's measuring the angle of elevation again, which is 30 degrees. All right. So he is measuring two angles. One is at the point B, another is at the point A. So one is 60 degrees here, another is 30 degrees here. So basically, we should just be able to understand the picture and draw this nice triangle, Shabab. We have a right triangle, and we will look at a BC is not given, of course. The distance from C to B is not given. We are going to call it X. And we will use Shabab, we will use this triangle first, you see here. All right, if you use the tangent of 30 and tangent of 60 here, tangent of 60 is H divided by X, of course. H divided by X is equal to √3. That means H must be equal to X times √3. Okay, this is the first step. H is equal to X times √3. Now I have a connection between X and H. Now let's go to a big triangle and look at the tangent of 30 degrees, Shabab. A tangent of 30 degrees is H divided by X plus 50, right, Shabab? The H is the height of the tree, of course. And another side is from A to C, right, Shabab? From A to C. So A to C is 50 plus X. So H divided by X plus 50 should be equal to 1 over √3, which is the, tangent of 30, of course, 1 over √3. And by cross multiplication, Shabab, by cross multiplication, you get H times √3 equals X plus 50. But I know the H here, Shabab, right? If you multiply H with √3, it becomes a 3x. Huh? Are you guys okay with 3x? H times √3 will be 3x. All right. 3x is equal to X plus 50. Then when you solve for X, Shabab, you will get X equals 25. Well, if X is 25, then H will be 25 times √3. That is the height of the tree, Shabab. All right. I guess we can just stop at this page. So we'll continue solving more examples on Thursday, inshallah. Yes, Shabab.
Thank you, Doctor.
Afan, Shabab.
Thank you,
I'll
Doctor.
see you. Your exam on tomorrow. It will be 8 p.m. Okay, 8 p.m.
Okay.
Doctor, 8 or 7?
8 p.m. Shabab. 7. Somebody has a physics exam or something. Unfortunately, it is 8 p.m.
Okay, thank you.
It's okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Doctor.
And
Ahlan,
Doctor,
Shabab.
it will be 20 minutes.
Only 20 minutes. Yes, 2 questions, Shabab.
Okay,
Okay, thank you.
okay, thank you.
Ahlan, Shabab.
Class.
All right.
Doctor.
Assalamu alaikum. Yes.
How did you write the third line?
I'm sorry.
This question in the third line. How did you write it?
Third line. 1, 2, 3. H times root 3 equal x plus 50.
Yes.
Cross multiply like this.
Okay. Thank you.
أيوة, right? Perfect.